Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Brickfilm Day podcast. Brickfilm Day podcast, episode number 9, almost at 10, who knows, maybe we'll reach 10, I don't know. It's Brickfilm Day 2024 happening this 11th May, the 11th of May. I messed up my English on that, I can't speak English. We're joined today by, I think, what was it, 11, 12 people? I don't even freaking know. So many Brickfilmers from across Brickfilm Day all over the years, starting from Brickfilm Day 2018 to probably, hopefully, some people who are going to be participating in this one. There's too many people here, I don't even know how to go about introducing each and one of you guys individually. Just if anyone wants to say hi, go for it right now.
Hi.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hello.
So true. Who is participating in this year's Brickfilm Day, or who's planning to?
I'm trying to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on something.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
what?
cooking something.
Penta, you're working on something?
Well, not a Brickfilm, but a video.
Yeah. I was going to say, I realized you've never formally entered a Brickfilm Day.
I
'Cause
did
I know
the
you did a
first Brickfilm
podcast.
Day.
What, on your channel?
You did.
Yeah. My
What did you
history
do?
of 1970s and 80s Brickfilms.
Oh, flip. Okay, my research
He's
then
an
wasn't
OG.
so good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. God damn, that's really cool. And then otherwise, of course, I assume you were kind of the mastermind behind the Bricks in Motion iceberg video.
Well, not exactly. That was mostly Chris and Sanjira, but I was
Really?
I was the third wheel.
Okay.
Largely based on me having already written all that stuff on the wiki.
Okay.
I helped with the writing of the segments, but they did the editing.
Right on. Yeah, you, among many others here today, are a part of a team of Brickfilmers who have been around to help with a lot of events and seen a lot of things. I think majority of the people in this call today are part of the Brickfilm Day team. I think a minority here are just participants. It's funny how that works out, but I suppose a lot of admins and editors who have helped with Brickfilm Day stuff started out as participants. Obviously, we have you, Penta, and then we have Jared, who... I think, Jared, you started with the Middle Earth Brickfilm Festival, hey?
Yeah.
And then I don't even remember, how did you end up participating further and working on Brickfilm Day as an events coordinator? Did we ask you to help with the Middle Earth Brickfilm Day Festival, or was it Brickfilm Day later on that you got involved with?
It was Brickfilm Day later on.
Yeah, it was,
Okay.
I think the first thing Jared helped out with was the live stream on Brickfilm Day 2020. I think he was actually the one who hosted the live stream.
Really? Wasn't it prior to that, though? Because the Middle Earth Brickfilm Festival was 2018, no?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing he helped out with in terms of the organisation and stuff of the actual event.
That was in 2020?
No, it was 2019.
Oh, it was 2019.
Oh yeah, 2019, sorry.
Okay, well, that's why I was confused, because I just remember Jared came into the Brickfilm Day team very much as a stranger, because at least with a lot of you guys have known you all for ages. So I remember Jared being like, I don't know who this individual is. And then, of course, what a sweetheart you are.
What an amazing voice actor he is as well. Don't forget
Yeah.
that.
Okay. And then, of course, Jared, you also did the history event at the end of 2018, and you also
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did your Australian film, and you did the 2019 Brickfilm Day, and the 2021 and the 2023 Brickfilm Day. You skipped some here and there, but I think it's so funny that you started the first Brickfilm Day with a trailer for a Star Wars project that you never finished, and last year you entered into Brickfilm Day 2023, a Star Wars project, a trailer for a Star Wars project which you've yet to finish. Can we expect the finished film this year for Brickfilm Day 2024, or another trailer, or what? What's happening, Jared?
Probably just another trailer. Or like a behind the scenes video or something. You know?
Okay.
Something cool like that.
Okay. Amazing.
No, yeah, for sure, yeah. That's sick.
Yeah, speaking of you in Star Wars, obviously I think probably your biggest contribution to Brickfilm Day was when you did the Skywalker Saga and Lego project. I don't know if there's anyone else here who participated in that as an animator.
Me.
Damn, that's crazy. I had nothing to do with that, so I wouldn't know. Shout out BP as well.
I don't even remember that one.
That's how I feel most days out here at TLD.
But I remember that you contacted me on Brick and Break about the Star Wars project, and I said no.
I just declined because I didn't have the time. And after that, I kind of felt guilty about it. So I think I joined up with another Brickfilm project instead.
Damn, bro.
Was there a
Damn.
was there a May the 4th event? Is that separate?
We have done 2 Star Wars events. We did.
Yeah.
I know that you did the Star Wars Celebration Month, which was like way back in 2018. But no, we're talking about.
Yeah.
This was 2020. Hey, Jared. Okay. You organized that with BP.
Yes.
What was that process like as kind of your first big collaborative event with Brickfilm Day? Because you also then did the Bad Batch trailer, right?
Yeah.
So what was that like? What was that process like? BP also, I'd love to
well-
hear your opinion on working with Jared.
I hated every moment of it. Just getting out of you, Jared. Continue.
Okay. I remember we started back in like the fall of 2019, putting like the edits for like all the movies together, like starting to ask people and stuff. I remember at the time episode 9 hadn't come out, so we were just like, we'll release this before the movie comes out, and we'll just like recreate like one of the trailers for that movie to go along with this video. We won't like actually include like longer scenes from it. But it eventually took so long that we surpassed the release of that movie, so we were just like, okay, fuck it. And we just used scenes from the movie to put together like an edit for it. We eventually got it finished in May, and it came out in May.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
And I think it turned out bad because of that, because when I look back at like the similar Marvel video we did, it just ends at Infinity War. It doesn't have Endgame or the like whole conclusion, whereas with Star Wars, we actually finished, we got a complete story arc for the whole franchise.
Yeah.
You could say
really-
that you
it was really
finished
good.
the story.
What was that? I didn't
Yeah,
get
I guess you could. He said we finished the story.
Yeah.
those words haunt me.
At least
every
one
day.
story got finished. One story managed to get finished, you know. Yeah, I mean,
But I
you
will-
know, the thing with the... Yeah, sorry?
I will say, final 3 days of putting it together were like the worst days of my life.
Oh.
Why?
There was like no sleep.
Do you mean that statement?
I don't
Do you
know.
genuinely believe that?
I don't know. It was pretty bad though,
Okay.
because we were, really racing against the clock because it was supposed to come out on May the 4th. We were really grinding.
Literally
The
no
things
sleep.
that
can really-
Brickfilmers do for this.
I've
for this
actually-
medium.
I can show you guys an example of how pressed for time we were.
Don't forget that this is obviously a audio medium of like,
BP
that we're
put it
doing
in.
right now,
You
Jared.
can throw stuff on the screen.
That is true.
It's a video format.
No, some podcasts be going up on Apple Podcasts.
We're not that
We don't
fancy.
put our
We're not that
podcast on
fancy.
Apple Podcast. Yeah, we're not that fancy, but we could be. You know, always dream a little bigger.
Yeah, if this video gets 10,000 views and 1,000 likes, we'll put it up on Apple.
But like BP, what were some of your memories from making that?
Last 3 days, very little sleep. I think I got more sleep than you, but just barely. And just trying to render the whole 20-minute film on like a MacBook Pro.
Bro.
Yeah, in DaVinci, which just kept crashing every time I tried to render it, which is part of the reason why it was delayed. Overall, it was a great time though. Getting to collaborate with like animators that I looked up to for a while, like Saga and on Beatman, AKP Studios, and a bunch of other talented people. It was a good time.
Pretty good. Like this shot that I'm sharing right now. I honestly can't even remember which shot is supposed to be. But you can see it's very crudely put together.
Yeah.
It's some sort of top-down shot, isn't it?
A recreation will always have a shot like that in it, depending on how much, like, the circumstances under which it was made. I think it's just kind of how it goes. It's the beauty of it. I guess. If I close my eyes and look at it really far away, it looks kind of okay.
It just reminds me of the final shot on the Bohemian Rhapsody trailer.
Yeah, that one's freaking terrible though, because it goes in for like 12 or 15 seconds and it's like the centerpiece of the trailer. We don't need to talk about that. But talking about obviously getting to spend a little more time on like one project and, give it a good ending, which maybe we didn't get to do with the MCU and Lego, roadmap video. We were able to kind of rectify that obviously in that project with the Endgame collab, the Avengers Assemble collab, which I don't really think anyone here really necessarily worked on either. I went back and looked at it.
Me.
I know you did, Jared, but we're moving on from you now. Bless you. And obviously, BP, you've like helped out with every single project. Following on from the MCU and Lego project, obviously I know the Lego director, you did Spider-Man Homecoming, and Johnny, you did Captain America Civil War, I'm pretty sure. And I think it was Nate Brick that used some of your footage in his Black Widow recap, Johnny?
Oh yeah, no, because we did the Civil War one together. Like, he did half of the shots, and then he also did Black Widow, so he used some of the shots I did in that one as well.
What are your guys' memories respectively of working on that project? Because I can barely remember it. Did we come to you asking if you wanted to work on like a particular thing? Did you guys choose the recap you wanted to do for the MCU Lego project, or was it kind of like, here's these options, which one do you want?
I think by the time I got in, like, most of the good ones were taken. But Civil War is a pretty good one. Like I think all the Avengers ones were gone except Civil War. So you guys kind of had like a list of ones that we could choose. And I think because I was doing it with Nate, I thought kind of Civil War was like a more ambitious one with lots of different characters. So it might kind of suit two people doing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Nate Brick Studios, I did ask him today to be here on this podcast if he was able. And I also wanted to say, the group of people that we have today on this podcast is a mix of longtime editors and admins and organizers, as well as just event participants. There are so many of you guys who have participated in the events over the years. We couldn't get everyone in one call because this is already going to be such a feat to give everyone an equal time to talk about the projects they've worked on with Brickfilm Day over the years. But here are just some of the few. Obviously, Nate Brick participated in quite a few projects. I don't really know where I was going with this. I think I just wanted to give a shout out to Nate, because I also acknowledge that a lot of what we're talking about, people probably won't know the context, because I barely remember the MCU and Lego project, except that it was such an exciting thing, obviously, when everything did kind of drop. I was curious, at least, I guess, you know, leading on to now you, the Lego director, talking about your Spider-Man Homecoming recap. It's one thing to participate in a Brickfilm Day at the festival where you have your own singular film and it stands on its own. How did it feel to, you know, actually like kind of contribute like a whole 40 seconds of a story to a greater film? Because if I remember correctly, both of you also did the Finish the Story?
Yeah, we did. Well, John, did you do that?
Is it the Halloween one?
Halloween? Yeah, the Halloween one.
I literally can't remember who's done what. That's crazy. God. Yeah, you guys both did.
I think Nate did that one too. I think Nate did that one too as well.
Yeah, I think so.
I loved that one. That was probably my favorite one we've done. The MCU thing was, I don't know if intimidating was the right word, but it was like, I always wanted to do the Spider-Man one, so I got really lucky. But even then, the edit was so hard to make. I don't know if everyone else had to do it, but I made my Spider-Man Homecoming edit. Like, I picked the scenes.
Yeah. I did that too.
There are so many plot points that I wanted to touch on, and we had like a limited time, so I was like,
I think it was like 30 seconds.
Yeah, and
some
I think
people definitely went over
30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, if I recall, I was trying to push that as far as I could, because I was like, there's so many plot points I want to do, animate a scene from. Even the ones I did get to animate, I'm still not proud of. I think I also did one shot for the Guardians of the Galaxy one.
Oh, yes, you did. That wasn't for the Guardians of the Galaxy. That was for Thor: The Dark World.
Oh, yeah, no, it was. You're right, because that's the post-credit.
It's because no one wanted to freaking do that movie, so...
We actually had someone lined up for that movie, but they dropped out with not long to go, so James just kindly stepped up even though he didn't want to do it.
I stepped up, but I also got help from so many different people, such as yourself, and then also Joe Bohr, and probably a few other people who we're forgetting. I think Venabao Productions also participated. All these names and people, it's so crazy in this community, especially doing Brickfilm Day. We've worked together on so many things that I've just forgotten that we worked on, obviously also because the experience of brickfilming is so secular and isolated.
I'd like to add those two people, like every person you've named that isn't in here is like now a film student. Like the Brickfilmer to film student pipeline is incredible.
No, yeah, for sure.
While I was on the topic of talking about your guys' contributions to the MCU stuff and just your Brickfilm days in general, common thread, at least between Andrew and Johnny, sorry, oh my god, between your guys' contributions to Brickfilm Day was that you participated a lot early on. You know, you did like the first few Brickfilm days. I'm pretty sure you did MCU and Lego, and you did Endgame, and you had some amazing entries. I mean, that Josiah V. Tasty Rebirth, probably the best entry from that first Brickfilm Day, in my opinion. I don't know if any of you guys remember that one.
I remember. I love it.
Yeah, do people still talk about that?
Probably not. but
I
that
think
feels
about
like
it.
ancient.
it belongs to a time, but it was an iconic time. And then, of course, Andrew, you did a whole bunch.
Yeah.
You did the Star Wars month. You did MCU and Legos we previously talked about. You even did one of the animation contests, the first one back in 2018. And you also did a bunch of stuff for the Bo Rap trailer, if I'm not mistaken.
I think like 7 or 6 shots. I can't remember.
Okay. There was a lot of people who participated in that too, so I also kind of struggle to remember. But point being, you participated a lot, and if you look on your channel, I mean, the last few videos were just Brickfilm Day related stuff. I guess the question I was really curious to hear your thoughts on from both of you, Andrew and Johnny, is do you plan to ever Brickfilm again? And like, what are you doing now? I know, Andrew, you've been to film school. I don't know what you've been up to, Johnny. What I'm genuinely curious about is whether Brickfilming was more of a venture for you to get into filmmaking more than anything else, or if it's something that maybe you want to follow up on again in the future, if that's it.
I'm not doing film at the moment. I'm at uni and I'm studying illustration.
Okay. It was something art related. I'm sorry for kind of forgetting.
No, it's okay. I've kind of not done as much film stuff since I stopped doing brick films on YouTube, but just kind of recently I've been into the idea of getting back into like filmmaking. I did an animation back in December, which is on my channel now, and I've just done like the odd thing, like I'll edit like videos for a friend and stuff. I feel like you never really outgrow it, you know? Like whenever I come home, I like look at my Lego shelf and I'm like, man, I'm sad I never made a video with those stormtroopers or whatever, you know?
You talking to you like the Green Goblin mask?
yeah, literally. They look at me and yeah, I don't know. I do think one day I will go back to brick filming, but you know, for now it is on the shelf and I'm not doing as much film stuff, but still in the art world, you know, still animating.
Do you ever plan to go back do like any kind of filmmaking other than brick filming? Or is that just also... You never maybe... I don't know if you ever did a lot of live action stuff. I mean, I remember when you published that quarantine film during COVID, but I don't remember seeing much from you otherwise. Weren't you doing like a whole clothes thing?
Oh yeah.
At some
no,
point,
I did
I
that.
remember seeing a lot of that, like a brand, a clothing brand.
Yeah, I did like a clothing brand with some friends in school. I just kind of had like mini projects off and on, but I did some like editing for that and stuff. I guess I'd never really done more like narrative led filmmaking since stopping brick filming. So yeah.
Well, what you have been doing is definitely a lot more interesting than just straightforward film, so kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about you, Andrew?
I don't think I want to quit because I mean I stopped pretty early on in my high school career, right? Like I never felt like I ever got to make like a complete project video. I made this mistake. It's something that I still do. I start too much stuff at once and never get to finish any of it.
Do you think brick filming contributed to you deciding to go to film school in any way, or was that going to happen with or without brick filming in any case?
I think it definitely had something to do. I don't exactly know. I always wanted to be a movie director since I was like 9, I think. And then I started making brick films when I was 11. And that was like just a medium through which I could tell stories. I think I wouldn't realize that writing was my favorite thing to do if I didn't do Lego videos first. A lot of the film stuff I've been doing is not Lego related. I don't know how to segue into what I was going to talk about. I've been taking photos for a punk band. I do that a lot. I love doing that. I make their flyers too. I filmed some music videos for them and I didn't edit those because I, again, start too much at once and then never finish any of it. Yeah,
you've been doing a lot of things, bro. I always enjoyed brick filming for the aspect of solitude. So it's interesting how, you know... Also, because, I don't know, it's so interesting how out there you've gone.
Yeah, especially because I am mostly an introvert since high school. Like, I realized pretty early in high school, I was like, oh my god, I hate people. So now I'm, like, pushing myself to like people, and it's kind of working. A lot of film school has been just networking with people, like, oh, hey, you like the movies, I like the movies, let's make movies.
Is anyone here in this call also in film school currently, or has anyone been to film school, thinking of BP, because I know that you're done now?
I'm not
anyone
in
else?
Film school, but I'm a film minor. You know, my major is media and entertainment, but I'm also minoring in film, so that's just, I guess. I'm not sure if how much of that is the same as being a film major, but that's what I got going on right now.
Okay. Yeah, Mello as well. You're in this group of Andrew and Johnny of like early Brickfilm Day participants. I talked to you a lot back then when you were participating in those events, and then you disappeared. I didn't see or hear from you.
Yeah.
And now you've come back and you do a lot of editing of the highlights and stuff.
Yeah.
What did you get up to in that time where you kind of disappeared, and how did you find your way back into the Brickfilm Day Discord server, and why do you still kind of keep in touch with these brickfilmers in the brickfilming world, even though you don't brickfilm anymore?
So back when I was really into the community, back into when I was brickfilming a lot, I kind of made this like very small, like exclusive Brickfilmer Minecraft server. I'm not sure how many people remember
Yes.
that. Yeah, it was very cool.
Very enthusiastic yes from Jared. Was that, what server was that? Was I on that?
You were on that for
Yes.
like a brief period of
Was
time.
that the 2019 server?
Yeah.
Yes.
Word.
I think we called like the Brickfilmers SMP or some shit. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we had, I remember Sed being on that a bunch.
Bruh.
But
Bruh.
it was around that time I started getting into like gaming heavy, and so like my brick filming setup became.
Didn't
my
realize we had a
setup.
gamer in the call.
Yeah. So my
We
brick
got
filming
two gamers,
setup-
bro. We got AoW Gamer aka Jack, as well.
Shout out games.
Shout out gaming, yeah, for sure. But yeah, my brick filming setup became like my gaming setup, and I got like super heavy invested in that. Afterwards, I did Brickfilm Day 2020, and then COVID happened, and I started like doing my own thing mainly. Most of that's being like video editing and just like editing in general.
I was gonna say the highlights make sense coming from you, like in terms of your brick films always had this. I would say the strongest element and point of them was definitely the editing, whether that was a visual effects or was it just the cuts.
Yeah.
You've always been kind of an editing guy in my mind.
Yeah, it's been
more than
like since
anything
then
else,
I do
so.
like a lot of I guess you can call them like TikTok edits or whatever. That's what I've been getting into a lot recently. But apart from that, a lot of video editing, a lot of like commissions. I edit for some of my friends like clothing brands. They do a lot of promotional videos, so I edit that too. Whenever I get the oh, do you like to edit this month's monthly highlights? I'm like, oh fuck yeah, because I really enjoy making them. I like getting to watch all the brick films and doing all the cuts and shit. So it's a lot of fun for sure.
Do you like that aspect of it because maybe you get to go back a bit and be a part of the community?
Oh, 100%.
Without having to, be a part of the community?
Yeah, for sure. There was a time where I definitely drifted from brick filming a bunch. Like I wasn't really animating at all, and I wasn't really talking to anybody. So going back and being able to like actively participate in a different kind of way that works better for me, it's a lot more enjoyable. I get to talk to like BP and stuff and Blandeer or whatever. And Blandeer,
We love BP and Blandeer.
Yeah, Blandeer replies to my tweets on Twitter, makes me laugh. So it's a lot of fun whenever that shit happens.
You haven't brick filmed in a while, and Johnny hasn't brick filmed in a while, and Andrew, you haven't either. As far as in terms of output and everything, obviously this is hypothetically, in theory, the last Brickfilm Day this year. Blandeer, your name coming up now as well. I don't know if this is public news or if no one should know this, but you mentioned to me this is probably going to be obviously your last Brickfilm for Brickfilm Day because it's ending, but also just maybe your last Brickfilm in general. And I'm curious what's led you to the end of the road here, if it is your last.
First, let me say thank you so much for having me here today. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone.
Yeah, I gotta say, this format is so clunky because I know I haven't introduced any of y'all formally, but that's purely because I wanted to actually, give you a moment to be like, hey, this is me, this is what I'm doing, da-da-da.
And that's a really great question, James. I thank you for asking that. But if you don't mind, I'd like to defer to JaredVBF for answer.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am JaredVBF. James, would you mind repeating the question?
My question
I don't
is,
think we need to waste time on the podcast repeating questions. You just go ahead, Jared. You got this.
Well, I've been doing this brick filming shtick for a while now, and sometimes you just have to let things go because you just don't enjoy them anymore.
Damn, bro is clowning on his lack of love for brick filming.
And
Thank you, Jared. I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, thank you.
So true. What a great answer, Blandeer / Jared. Jared, of course. Sorry, Blandeer. I meant to say Blandeer, not Jared. Blandeer, of course. The road that has led you here has been full with many, many, many collaborative, crazy, unique films. Obviously, last year I interviewed you directly asking about why you make such weird films, you freaking freak. But today I really just wanted to highlight the collaborative and the big picture size of your films. You know, you always have so many voice actors, a lot of the time at least, in your films. Or when it came to freaking Death War and Taxes, you had Yetko doing the practical explosions of the Earth. And that was so beautiful, so cool. And a funny thing happened on the way to the underworld. You had Orbital Lizard Man doing the music. I'm really curious, how do you go about choosing the people you want to work with and figuring that you do need help on these projects?
Well, I thank you very much. And in this nature of the collaboration, I'm going to defer this question to my good friend JaredVBF for answer.
Thank you.
Is this some kind of meme or something?
Thank you. No,
yeah, Jared just knows it much better.
You know, there's a lot of, let's say, talented people in this community. Okay, that's one way to put it.
Well, let's not go too far.
But you know, sometimes it's nice to have some of their spice in your spaghetti.
That's something I think we can all take to heart and maybe even just think about for a little bit. Thank you, Jared. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jared. Blandeer, lastly, I wanted to know from you directly, from you specifically, maybe because you know the most about this particular question. Why did you participate in that first Brickfilm Day all the way back in 2020? Because of course that was the last year we had an actual schedule. Who reached out to you?
Well, James, I think. Can you repeat the question?
How did you come to participate in Brickfilm Day? How did you first hear about it? Did you reach out? Did someone reach out to you?
Brickfilm Day, the festival that takes place annually, usually in the springtime.
Depends.
Sometimes it happens near the time change as well, which makes things complicated.
It used to happen in winter. Or
it happened,
if you live in the southern hemisphere, it'll happen in autumn or summer.
Well, I don't like to get too technical with it. I mean, I think you see that in the event itself. Simple is nice. And then here we are.
That didn't really... Okay.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
I think I know someone who could give a better answer on that.
His time has expired, unfortunately.
Oh, my bad.
Oh well. Soon all of our time will expire, which is why we keep moving, because there's no time to waste. We have many more participants to get to. In Blandeer's camp, a lot of recent participants, people who have participated in a lot of the recent Brickfilm Days. I'd say probably no one more frequently than Lego Lad, because you have done like every one of the last Brickfilm Day events or projects you could participate in, those being the last 3 Brickfilm Day festivals and the last 3 contests. Yeah. What about Brickfilm Day as a entity has made you want to participate in every single event? Are you at all ever I'll participate in the contest depending on what the themes are or what I'm feeling? Or is it just matter of fact of it's Brickfilm Day, I gotta?
It's a great question. So when I had found out about Brickfilm Day back around 2021, I thought, make a wee video for it, that might go well. When I found out about the summer contest, I thought, it might be fun, may as well make a wee video for it. Same thing happened next year, but then when I came to the summer contest, I just thought, it's Brickfilm Day, I need to make something for it. There's no point in not.
I guess so. You are also the only animator here, maybe the only animator ever, as far as we know, who has made a brick film in the Coliseum. What do you have to say about this?
Good question. I was just on holiday. the room. We were in the Coliseum, and I just thought, I have a great idea. I need to make a brick film here.
Okay.
In the
You had
real
Lego on you.
Coliseum?
Yeah.
Before going to the Coliseum, we'd stopped in some like shop that sells like Lego. Pick up one of the Marvel CMF things. I mean, the stars must have aligned or something. I need to do this. Whoever was passing by us, they would end up just staring at me, wondering, what the hell are you doing? Because from an outside perspective, it must have just looked really weird. Because I was sat there with my phone trying to bounce it up against like a water bottle, so I could actually, you know, film it without the camera shaking like mad. It's like, right, it needs to be like this. It needs to be perfect. Oh man, I lost my train of thought here. But, I was just scrambling to get a video out because I thought this would just be a really funny idea.
Man on a mission.
Exactly.
Did that experience make you feel proud or ashamed / embarrassed to be a brick filmer?
Is this therapy?
I'm trying to ask the hard questions.
Hard-hitting questions.
Very thought-provoking question. I was ashamed because I had all the lovely people at Adelaide just staring at me in just sheer judgment over what I was doing.
All right.
Thanks, BP.
I gotta ask you again, in a different context, the same question.
Yeah.
Has your participation in Brickfilm Day events made you proud or ashamed / embarrassed to be a brick filmer?
You can defer this one to Jared if you like.
What a great question.
I would answer this question. There's just someone far more qualified than me to answer it, and that is Jared. If you would like.
Wonderful. Jared, what do you think?
I fucking hate doing this.
Damn. Well, Jared.
Good
I can
answer, good
understand why.
answer.
You have been working on this project of yours, Duel of the Fates, for so long. Do you ever feel weighed down by how long this project has been taking you? I don't know. You ever feel like giving up? What happened to Abandon, Jared? What's happening with Duel of the Fates? What are the deets?
Well, it is coming along quite well, I must admit.
Okay.
I actually finished a shot this morning that is so amazing that I came.
Oh lord.
To the podcast. That's what you mean, right?
Are you saying that when you release this film, I'm gonna come?
I think the community could use some of that right now.
Yes. I've been working on it for quite a while. I won't lie. It is boring. But I make it entertaining for myself by trying new things with it.
I'm proud of you, Jared.
We love you, Jared.
I love you, Jared.
Yeah, we love you, Jared. We love you.
Yeah, you're a bit crazy. I think mainly because you're so committed to this project, but that's also why you are so cool, and we love it. Just as Legolad is so committed to Brickfilm Day and
what a
all
segue.
of the events, so is Gregory Animations, aka Sam, who has participated in 5 Brickfilm Day festivals starting in 2019. Why?
Why?
Why? Yeah, that's a great question, James. You know, that's anytime we do anything, we ask, why did I do this thing? And I mean, you know, it's just every year. It's like, you guys can ask Brickfilm Day. I'm like, well, I guess I gotta make something for it. I can't just not participate in Brickfilm Day.
Yeah, you are a very consistent brick filmer generally as well. Outside of Brickfilm Day, you're always dropping something, releasing something, too many months apart, like, always hitting us with the new Gregory Animations classic.
Some people might say too much. I probably spend too much time brick filming, but, like, that's, I mean,
Do you plan to do it forever?
I mean, I don't know if you could say forever, but like first and foremost, I see myself as more of a writer than like an animator.
in the same boat as Andrew, maybe, or
currently I'm even taking a screenwriting class at my community college. But like I say that, yet I do, even though it's like kind of slow progression, I have like improved my animation over the years. So like now I've kind of reached a point where like I used to like push myself like, oh, gotta get the next video, and now I kind of like just like, you know what? When the video gets done, it gets done. Not gonna, stress out about it. I get all these ideas in my head. I'm like, oh, I gotta make that into a video. I gotta make that, and when I kind of just chill out and just focus on like what do I really want to make? What's like the stuff that I'm really passionate about, and that's really like what my kind of main focus has been the last.
Are you passionate about filmmaking ventures outside of Brickfilming? Obviously, you mentioned writing, but are you interested in live action as a format?
I would like to legitimately write some like scripts and like try to submit them. I don't know if I could see myself getting into like directing or like anything like that. I mean, maybe I could. I don't know. Just kind of at a stage in my life, I'm just kind of seeing where life takes me. Really, I'm just kind of chilling.
You've done so many Brickfilm Day events that even like, what was it, your 2023 entry with getting a little bit meta of like, you having a character come up to you and be like, hey dude, you gotta make your entry. And even then also talking about the writer's strike in that film and making that kind of a part of the joke. Do you ever, I'm assuming if you're taking just a screenwriting class, maybe that's not what you're focusing on mainly at your college. Do you ever worry that maybe this is just something best kept as a hobby, that you might enjoy it more that way?
I mean, I've always kind of treated it as a hobby, but I mean, it's a little bit more than just a hobby because I really love doing this, and I've reached a point where like if I didn't Brickfilm, I don't know what I'd be doing. Like I do other things, like I'll hang out with my friends and like I'll watch movies and play video games and stuff. I go to work. That's just really my big creative outlet, and like it took me a while to even get into Brickfilming. And so like sometimes almost, especially like in my early years, I feel like I was trying to make up for lost time, just like putting out one Brickfilm after the other, because like I didn't start till I was like 20. I'm getting up there.
Ayo, bro, we got some old cats in the community too. Penta, I know you're like 43. I'm just kidding.
I've been Brickfilming longer than everyone here has been alive combined.
That's how Penta knows everything about Brickfilming. He was there at the beginning of it all.
He was there before God.
He was there before God.
I am God.
He was the one who put Henrik and Lars Hassing on
before
this
the first day. Penta invented Brickfilming. Then God created the heavens and the earth.
Exactly.
But James, as you were talking about my Brickfilm Day entry last year, that was very much a very last minute thing I threw together. I
think it's kind of par of the course for a lot of Brickfilmers to not release full videos on Brickfilm Day. You can just look at anyone in this chat right here. Look at Jared. Look at Andrew. Look at I don't know. I'm throwing strays for no reason. I'm just being mean. My name's Jeff. Low key, best Brickfilm Day entry of all time.
Yeah, remember the bricks. And there's a lot of people now, like a lot of people have dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I miss the bricks. I love that guy.
It's crazy because like in my mind Brickfilm Day is still pretty recent, but by now you see some of the names that were around on the 2018 projects and like loads of them have disappeared.
We were talking about how that first Brickfilm Day had like one of Aubrey Studios' like last Brickfilms, and I mean that was also the last year I think that Chris Eggyolk did anything, and Lone Clone obviously as well had that really popular video that popped off. Well, these people don't be Brickfilming no more, and to me they were such a big part of my entry into Brickfilming and when I was really enjoying doing it, so it's so weird.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through the 2018 playlist. So many people here that I haven't heard from in over a year. Years. So.
And it was difficult trying to think of who to get onto this podcast as well. I was just lazy. I just went through the Discord. I looked at who had the Mad Lad tag because that means y'all participated over 5 events. Speaking of, our last guest on the podcast today who we haven't really gotten to introducing. This is a very long introduction. It's taken about an hour. Jack, or AoW Gamer as he's known in the brickfilming world. You have participated in so many Brickfilm days as well. You've also participated in many Brickfilms. All the way back from 2019 is when you started. You also did one of the contests back in 2022. Was that the only one you did?
I think I was in like nearly every contest. The first one, 2019, I just made it to the first round and then I got knocked off. And then I was just like, I want to get better. The next time, I think 2020, I went even to the third round with the sports team. It was just like a very big ego boost for me, and I really needed that. And from that time on, I think I participated in every animation challenge.
That's so good to hear. I mean, your motivation is also something I wanted to speak to you about, because you participate in so many brickfilming events, not just Brickfilm Day. You know, you're all over Bricks in Motion, you're at Brickboard doing stuff, and you also did an entry into Steinerei. Probably mispronouncing that. I'm sorry, don't kill me, because I know you're German.
German ST pronunciation is difficult. Yeah, Steinerei it would be.
Steinerei. Damn, bro. Tell me why you participate in so many events.
I have been in the brickboard bubble since like 2010, and they were like introducing me to Bric-a-Brac and Bricks in Motion, and I was just like, oh, there are so many other opportunities where they do events and things, and I haven't really recognized them that much. And I was like, okay, I'm a student, I've got just a little bit of student jobs and I've got a lot of free time, so I just try everything out. I participated nearly everywhere in that period of time, 2019 to I think 2021, out of curiosity actually.
Obviously then, talking about German as the language you speak, and being from Germany, I would assume, obviously Brickfilm Day is a predominantly English event. There are so many English participants, or English speaking participants rather, I should say. Do you ever wish maybe there was more international people who participate in these events, or do you ever feel kind of outside looking in? I'm also kind of curious, you know, if you feel this way too, Star Wars Studio.
Honestly, personally for me, I haven't really think about it that much. Most of the time I just speak English with people in this community, and people are speaking like another language, like Dutch for example. It's a bit unusual in the community in my opinion. I only know a very few Dutch speaking people in this community. I think on Titan Pictures, Bad Lows, those are, I think, the only two names that pop up that I ever like spoke before, and what I'm aware of that are in the Netherlands.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing about like becoming a part of this community, is there's people from all over the world, and like it's crazy to think about that, talking to people from every corner.
Yeah, I think there's been one or two Brickfilm days where we've had people from every continent take part.
Except Antarctica.
I think I have never seen
any
Arabic brick films. Are there Arabic brick films?
Yes.
A good question.
I think Penta shared some of these before.
I was going to say, of course, Penta would be able to clear this one up.
I asked Penta like the same question a few years ago about Islamic brick films, because there are a lot of Christian brick films out there. So I asked Penta one time, are there any Islamic brick films out there? And there actually were.
I remember there was a member on Bricks in Motion for a while who was from Iran, I think. But you know, Lego is like super expensive in different parts of the world, so like if they were Brickfilming, they might be using a lot of like bootleg brands, because it's so hard to get real Lego.
Yeah, we still wait for the North Korean Brickfilmer.
One day, bro.
Yeah, one day.
What do you think though, Jack, about, do you ever think about the cultural aspect of something like Brickfilm Day, being from a non-English speaking country?
Not that much, actually. I don't see that much of a difference in like the cultural experience. I'm more like seeing the artistic experience, and there's a bunch of variety on that. We in Germany, we've got a quite small community, but still we do a lot of things, and we're quite proud of that. Going to Brickfilm days and Bricks in Motion and all these international things, they're much bigger. There's so many more participants. I mean, Brickfilm Day has like, how many participants were like in the last Brickfilm days? Were like over 200, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, over time, that's
It
a
was like-
dimension we never could experience here in Germany. We are very happy when Steinerei has like 20 entries. That's quite a lot for us. You multiply it by 10, it's going one potential up. This leads to like having such big of a variety of different artistic experiences. And I don't really see it as like a cultural thing, more like an expression of artistic and imagination and thoughts.
That's a great answer. It's kind of like Lego as a medium, as a toy. It's very,
Yes.
you know, I always think about the Lego films. They, you know, they don't speak. They have the, hey! You know, great. Well, awesome. So great, we could introduce every single person here.
You don't need
now
to
that
take an
we're
hour.
all settled with each other.
Are we starting the podcast now?
I'm just
then?
kidding.
Now
That's
the
I,
podcast can begin.
let's finally get into it. No, I'm just joking. That is mostly of everything I wanted to ask you guys. More than that, you know, now that we kind of all know what our relationships are with Brickfilming, we've kind of covered it a bit. Aside from, of course, BP, I didn't really ask you anything, and I obviously
It's fine. I've been
haven't
on enough of
spoken
these
about
podcasts.
myself.
I've talked about
Yeah,
myself.
that's kind
as
of that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, but bless you. I'm really curious at this point as we're wrapping up though about obviously as well with the theme of this being the last Brickfilm day. If anyone has any regrets when it comes to Brickfilming, I think mainly more so this question is directed towards the people who aren't doing it anymore. Johnny, you talking about seeing those stormtroopers on the shelf and with maybe wanting to do another Brickfilm or something, assuming that was you, because maybe my memory's bad. I do freaking have terrible memory, even if it's short term. Is there any Brickfilm or any regrets you have relating to Brickfilm that you wish you could go back, change, make, do something more with the medium now that time has gotten on with you? Because obviously we grow up and then time escapes and whatever else.
That's so true. I had this one script that I spent like 2 months writing for this like brick film, which was, I'm not gonna lie, it was basically like Ratatouille. But yeah, no, it was like this kitchen themed one, and I wrote this script of like 2 months, and I built like all the sets and I made all the figures and stuff, and I like planned out how I would do all the shots, but I never like filmed any of it. Just, I think it was around the time I was doing my GCSEs, but
Okay.
yeah. I
guess
regret
in the
like
way.
not trying to make that.
You know, I
it's
think
just,
I
like-
remember that script.
Yeah, I think you might have actually like looked at it for me when I was like
No,
asking
I'm
people.
pretty
to, like,
sure you wanted me to be a voice actor in it, right? And I didn't
Dude,
know
yeah,
how to
maybe.
say that. I didn't know how to say that word, and I still don't entirely know how to say it.
What word?
What is it? That's like a vegetable, right? I don't think
Yeah,
that's an American
yeah.
word.
Courgette. Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys say zucchini. It was
Yeah,
called the
yeah.
Great Courgette Scandal. Or something.
Oh, I remember this now.
Whoa.
What
I
is
also
that?
remember
I didn't
this.
know.
You remember?
Yeah, now I know you said the name. It's all coming back to me.
Oh yeah. No, I was so excited about it, but I think it just got too big and too out of control, where it became so overwhelming to like think about actually making it. So yeah.
I wanted to hear from the other brick filmers, or maybe ex-brick filmers as I should refer to them in this call, or people who don't have as much time for it anymore. Because also Star Wars Studio, I know that you don't necessarily also release many films these days. You're very busy.
Yeah, I'm still working on one big animation, so I haven't really quit entirely. Also, my last big film was for FAQ, so that was. But most of the time, I just upload these on my second channel because they're like way shorter. And this one, what I'm working on, is like more than an hour long, and I've been working for this one for like 4 years. So that's like.
Yeah. How often do you guys think about brick filming when you are just going about your general lives? Does it pop into your head at all, or is it the kind of thing of you see one thing and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that in so long, such as this podcast?
At least for me, I'm really big on like just animation in general, and I see a lot of cuts and clips and shit on like Twitter, and I'd be like, oh, this would look so crazy if this was like a brick film. Oh, I could definitely make this. And then I'm like, oh shit, I don't really do that anymore. Lol. Especially recently, it's been like, oh, I would definitely like to try and make something like this in as a brick film, but with my current setup and just how I've been in the last couple years, you know, it's probably not as possible as it would have been back in like 2019, you know. So at least that's what it's like for me.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
The rest of you guys, do you ever think about it?
I feel like every time I see a trailer I'm like, damn, I wonder who's going to be the first person to recreate that.
It used to just be hot.
Race.
It used to just be hot.
Yeah,
like he would be
Hugs.
like the number one, the first guy to do it like good.
He was always there immediately.
Bro had a serious like routine with it. People always criticized his trailers, I feel, at least in the more niche sides of the community, you know, perfectionists or whatever. Maybe people were just mad that he blew up. But I always thought he was really good at producing a really high quality product in such a short amount of time. Like, he was better at it than anyone else. Because I know this only really applies to half of everyone here, because a lot of you guys are still doing it. I'm curious, even then, you know, I look at a lot of your last few Brickfilms published, Andrew, and a lot of them were just Brickfilm Day related. And do you think you would have stopped doing it sooner if not for Brickfilm Day? Do you think that Brickfilm Day was a motivator in some ways to get you to make something?
I
and
do.
if so, why?
I definitely think it was a motivation, because it gave a clear due date, you know, and it like and a good prompt, and I was like, okay, I can do this. It was a lot more strict than my own stuff, because if there's no due date on it, then I won't do it. I won't finish it. Yeah.
I think sort of the community aspect as well, because it just kind of feels like you're part of a bigger thing, and like, you know, you're surrounded by people who are also doing that, like a similar thing for the same event. Feels really collaborative in that way, I guess.
How often do all of you guys here in this call think about the way in which your Brickfilm will be received? How often do you think about other people when it comes to the film you're making? Or are you more so just concerned with, damn, can I get this shot to look good for myself because I need to perfect this shot? How often is the audience in mind?
Never.
It kind of depends.
I mean, I am the audience, so it kind of it goes hand in hand. I think I am the audience. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like
Yeah, I guess like when I do a shot, like, or like if I do a whole scene, like I'll watch it and be like, okay, I would enjoy this. So hopefully there are other people out there that would enjoy this too.
Yeah. Usually when I finish a Brickfilm, if it's for a contest, I don't always have the time, but I like to show a cut of the film to some friends first, just to make sure the jokes land and the pacing works for them and stuff like that.
When I concentrate a Brickfilm, it's more like the first thing I concentrate is like the script and the mostly talking in that and the sound, and then I put the sound together, and I'm just like, if I would just listen to this and not watching anything, does it still work? Just the sound. I already get into the point of view of the viewer, and I was like, okay, as was mentioned before, the pacing and things, if the jokes have like catchy and things, and then I'm just like, okay, now I'm building a set, and I think then is the time then when I more or less don't think about how others see it, but in the pre-production I do this a lot.
That's an interesting way of doing things, because for most people I think sound's just an afterthought, they just rush at the end.
Has anyone else got any thoughts on that with regards to how where the Brickfilm is going to be seen affects the creation process? Blandeer, Jared, Lego Lad, does participating in a Brickfilm Day event get you more amped to finish the film? Or does it get you a bit more scared, thinking, hey, maybe this is going to get a few more particular eyes on it?
I guess doing it for Brickfilm Day does make me want to make films that could play to a slightly wider audience, or like projects that could play to a wider audience, because like knowing that it might be seen outside of just my own bubble. We made the iceberg video and the Journey to the Moon interview video. Those were both of those, we had the idea in mind, like we're making these for Brickfilm Day, so we want them to be like quite general, like anybody interested in brickfilming could watch these. They don't need to have a whole bunch of context beforehand.
Yeah, I think for me at least, Brickfilm Day and other assorted events give me a reason to make a film, but I just make because I like him. I think I'm my biggest fan. I watch my movies and I'm like, this guy's hilarious. This is the funniest fucking shit I've ever seen. Nobody laughs at my videos harder than I do. That's all I gotta say. I don't care what anyone else thinks.
I contest that. I laugh at your Brickfilms way more than you do.
I can
But I don't know.
relate totally to that. I also laugh about my brick films and my jokes quite the hardest.
Some people are giving me crap for laughing at my own jokes, but it's like, okay, if I didn't find this joke funny, I wouldn't put it in the video.
Exactly. That's
God,
the whole point.
If God did not gift me with incredible comedic ability, I wouldn't be laughing. But here we are. So
that's similar to like if you've ever seen Michael Bay behind the scenes of Transformers, during the most unfunny jokes in the movie, he is cackling in the background, and it is so funny. So like in any moment you're like, why would you ever tell this joke? It's like because he thought it was funny.
yeah, I go back, I watch my own films, and I'm like in a good mood afterwards. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm wiping a tear. Good time.
That's me after I rewatched my Name Jeff recreation.
Exactly. Yeah.
What a great entry. Lego Lad, what are your thoughts on how you engage with your film?
It's a good question. And I did have a good answer, and you're not gonna believe it, but I genuinely forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay.
I'm quite sorry.
It's okay. I saw you unmute your mic when I asked the question, and then we went on to a whole other train of thought, and so I thought I'd circle back. But I understand that situation as well.
Nah, but when it comes to Brickfilm Day, I'm like, then I actually want to get like a video done, cause like a lot of the time I'll work on a video, and then I'll be like, no, I'm not bothered to do this no more, and I'll just move on to the next thing. But with Brickfilm Day, like, I just force myself to keep making it. Like that Spider-Man video I brought out last Brickfilm Day, I'm pretty sure I made that specifically for, Brickfilm Day, and that ended up being one of my favourite videos I've ever made.
Damn.
So, that wouldn't be made if you didn't bloody put pressure on me and give me that deadline.
Yeah, Brickfilmers need deadlines.
I'm curious. Yeah, that's why Thack and Brawl is so great too, I think, for ex-Brickfilmers or people who don't have time for it anymore.
That's true.
As a follow-up from that question for everyone here, how many people in the past and also presently decide that they're going to make a film completely new for Brickfilm Day? Or how many people here just be like, oh, damn, Brickfilm Day's been announced, I'm working on this film, let me try to get it done for that release. Certainly I'm wondering maybe any of you guys who are planning on entering this year, what's the case this time around?
Usually for me, it's like I'm having so many things in my mind. When Brickfilm Day comes on, I had like a very small idea, and I was like, oh, I can do this for Brickfilm Day. When Brickfilm Day is announced, I'm like, okay, I can start on that, and then I can just do it. Otherwise, I would have done it like 3 years later, or maybe never ever.
My first few years, it was definitely like I just kind of, whatever I was working at the time, that'd be what I put out for Brickfilm Day. The last 2 years was very much like, I need something to put out for Brickfilm Day. There you go. Okay.
I've never personally entered a brick film into Brickfilm Day that has been fully formed. It's either a complete shitpost or something. I remember, what was that? I think it was 2022, where I was like, I probably don't have many more brick films in me. I need to put out something substantial this year, and it was during the festival that I just worked on my entry. Like, I even ran out of time that year, and I remember it was, I think I uploaded it like 6 hours after the deadline for submissions, and I think I remember BP and everyone else was like, yeah, that's okay, because, well, I don't know.
Because you're busy organising everything simultaneously.
Yeah,
so like, we'll
kind of cheated. Yeah, that was my only contribution in that regard, because I never think about, damn, what film can I make, because I'm always thinking about the festival, which I guess allows us to do podcasts like this. Not that we've really done that in previous years, or we've always done one podcast, but motivation, hey, reason to create.
So true.
Yeah, well, guys, those were all the questions I had. If Jared, you want to take it over from here, I know you were very keen to ask some questions.
What is your guys' favorite video of mine?
Duel of the Fates when it comes out.
That's probably that's a very good answer.
Yeah, evidently whichever one will make me come.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's obviously my name, Jeff. Lego 4K recreation.
Amazing.
My name is Jeff.
Ooh,
Yo, there's
very good.
Another one down there. There's another
Very
one
good
down
impression, Jared.
there. You see
Jared,
this?
how does it feel to be the most prolific voice actor in the brick filming community?
It's pretty good, you know. I make a lot of money from it.
'Cause that's a big title to hold. I imagine it comes with a lot of responsibility.
I never tried to botch a job.
God bless.
I could though.
Gotta keep them
Take
on
it
your
to a
toes.
bigger level.
In fact, everybody here is getting a free voice acting role from me for Brickfilm Day 2024.
Talking about monetary compensation for jobs fulfilled, I'm really curious because I'm 20. This has been on my mind a lot as I've entered the workforce in the real world as a brick filmer who does a lot of stuff for free and as a labor of love. And obviously that's what we've done a lot at Brickfilm Day, of just collaborative events for free. No one gets paid. It's like, hey, you want to do this? Yeah. But I'm curious if brick filming as a labor of love for anyone has like messed up their maybe perception of what equates paid work in the real world, especially when it comes to film.
I feel like brickfilming takes so long, especially if you actually want to make your film good. Like, if you're doing it for yourself just because you want to have a good end result. Like, recently I did some stuff that was actually paid, but like, if you really cared about money versus hours, the rate wouldn't be very good. You have to just like it.
So you're saying a brick filmer could never get a good paying job? Sorry, Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like, if you're making what you want to make, you enjoy doing it, then, like, you don't even think about the fact that, oh, I'm just doing this for, because, I mean, you're doing it for yourself, really. And, like, I mean, but, like, obviously there is a monetary aspect because, like, when you make any movie, you have to, like, spend money in order to make the movie. But that's the nice thing about brick filming is that you can do a lot with Lego, with brick filming, and, like, you just buy these Lego sets, and it's like, you could just do just about anything with it.
Yeah.
Well, I think I can differentiate quite good about how much effort and, of course, of time I put into brick film. And if I would get paid for that, it will, for like 10 seconds of animation, it would be too much for anyone to get paid. I have completely other work, and I am completely fine with that output. So I see brick filming entirely as a hobby and not really like a source of money at all. So I think I've got a split mind on that. I know it would be very expensive if everything gets paid, but for me it's just a hobby, so I don't really think about that often.
I guess BP, you started doing some sound stuff, and you mentioned to me that you've been doing a few paid jobs, and obviously when you go into just film generally, for us it's all started as our hobbies, I'm sure. So it's very weird, I guess, when you start getting paid, and it's also difficult to know how much to ask for, because one would assume when you take the job that it would be labor of love. And I know also, Andrew, that you've been getting paid for some of the reels and stuff and the photography you've been doing for the band.
Mm-hmm.
But you also mentioned to me the other day that even though you were being paid, you didn't really want to do it. How come?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of work. Even now, like, I have a reel that I'm getting ready to do. I don't think however much money I'd get for that would be worth it. I wouldn't want to charge for animation either. There's been a few instances in which I've been offered payment to do voice stuff. I denied that, but I'm kind of like, I shouldn't have denied that.
Denied payment or denied the job?
Denied payment. I'm kind of like, I should have gotten paid for that.
Jared's judging you. Jared has been able to pay off his mortgage by doing voice acting for the brickfilming community. It's a very lucrative business. Am I right, Jared?
You are correct, sir.
Actually, I had to sell a house just to get him into one of my films, and then he didn't even send me the lines.
There is another aspect to like doing brick films that are actually commissions that like I wasn't used to, which is like after so many years of doing brick films by yourself, and you can just do whatever the hell you want. Like the first time you get notes back that are like, oh, can you change this, or can you reshoot this, or we're gonna go a different direction with the story, it just feels like, oh, fuck this, I quit.
For real. For real, bro.
Jared knows exactly what you're talking about.
But then you have to be like, well, I guess this is what making a video for a client is like.
That applies to any like filmmaking or creative industry in general. When you're working for clients, you're getting jobs from suits who don't know or appreciate how much time it takes, and you do something according to what they initially asked for, then they, oh no, can you change this after you've finished? And it's like,
fuck you.
I hear that happens a lot
I've already
with
destroyed the set.
Yeah, that's one thing with brickfilming. Hey, I hear that happens a lot with I guess the art community. I'm curious, Johnny, if you've done any commissions, obviously studying illustration.
Yeah, no, I've done some. I'm not like fully in the professional world, Like getting notes is always like the worst thing. And they always tell us in uni, they're always going on about whenever you get a commission, you should have it in the contract at the beginning, like how many rounds of notes you're allowed to be given or whatever. So like you get one run back or whatever.
Does anyone else have anything to add to this conversation or the podcast in general?
What's your favorite event, James?
What? I didn't hear. I heard what you said, Andrew, but Sour Studio, what did you say?
We live in a society.
I would expect nothing less from you, Sour Studio. Thank you. My favorite event was probably the Middle Earth Brickfilm Festival back in 2018, just because that was, more than any other event, a complete labor of love. And really, probably, for anyone who knows, Brickfilm Day started out of the idea I had for a Lord of the Rings film festival, Brickfilm Festival. Originally, only 6 people participated in that, but I realized a big reason for that is because no one really makes Lord of the Rings brick films. So I was like, what if we did this exact same thing, but just generally? Another Middle Earth brick film related festival later that year, and we got more than 6 people. So it was definitely, that was my favorite for that reason. Let's go!
Wow. We met Jared from it as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Which has brought nothing but pain to my life. So that was actually one negative about it.
That's probably why it's your favorite event.
Wow.
I'm such a masochist.
I think the most memorable event for me was the Great War that we had in the server in 2021.
I'm saying, like, Penta, I love that your perception and experience of Brickfilm Day is so much more closely linked to the Discord server, I feel.
Yeah.
and the messages and everything that's happened on there, which is such a complete separate entity. If anyone judged Brickfilm Day based off the Discord, it's like a completely different look than maybe the YouTube channel.
Penta very much uses Brickfilm Day meme chat as a dumping ground for anything he can't put in bricks in them.
That's entirely true.
Some people would probably be in prison if that Discord got completely sent out.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't know why you laughing.
On deep cleats.
Where's the list?
What?
Just get arrested. You're in like the interrogation room. They just plop down a piece of paper. It's got a list of everything you sent in the meme chat. You're like,
that wasn't me. Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, bro.
Never met this person before in my
That was
life.
drunk me.
Well, damn. Who knows if the Brickfilm Day Discord will live on?
It has to live on. I need somewhere to dump all those memes.
Well, I guess we'll see, because maybe also I don't want to be completely out of touch with this community, even if the festival doesn't go on. Or maybe it goes on in some capacity. I don't know. In any case, guys, the final Brickfilm Day is happening May 11th this year. At least organized by me, BP, Jared, Blandeer as well. I mean, those are the main organizers in this chat. Also, Star Wars Studio has helped a lot with some of the shifts throughout the years of promoting and organizing the event. So hey, if you are a brick filmer who still makes films, you should participate and enter for one last hurrah. Or if you haven't in a while or never have, maybe you should consider also just entering anyway. Put it on your resume. I participated in a Brickfilm Day.
It's a very, very important point to put it on your resume. Your future employee will say, "Oh, you participated on the last Brickfilm Day event. Okay, you're hired."
That's bound to get you an internship at Warner Brothers. 100%.
Anyway, thank you Star Wars Studio for being here. Thank you Penta for being here. Thank you Lego Lad. Thank you Mello. Thank you Jonathan/Johnny. Thank you Jared. Thank you Andrew/TLD, the Lego Director. Thank you BP Animation, aka Lewis Townley. And thank you.
What do you say?
Thank you Sam, aka Gregory Animations, and thank you Jack, aka AoW Gamer.
It was a pleasure. Thank you
I'm
too.
James K. Woods. Thank you for listening to this podcast. I love Brickfilm Day. Goodbye.
Bye.